Game-Geki. Silent Hill. Ascension.
Welcome to Game-Geki, the show that's streaming Silent Hill Ascension in front of what appears to be some kind of live sport. You can hear that outside. Some people playing some kind of game. I'm DDK in Osaka, Japan. And the true main event, of course, is Silent Hill Ascension. So I'm going to bring in the pre-show.
You are most likely going to see that
and
result.
I've got the chat here.
Force the road to eat it is close.
As
so
we are
really, you're going to see the results of
up
that in the next couple of minutes.
Amazing episode
there's not much
leading
more
into
for
the
me
weekend.
to say here, Lola, except that Don Facker will be with you, and I'm out.
And we'll miss you so much, Eduardo. Who will do masterful transitions when I forget where I'm going? Middle of the thought. Certainly.
It's true. That a masterful
show,
transition.
Have a lovely time, and we'll be back on the flip side with Don Thacker.
Waiting for that amazing show to begin. I suppose then I should roll into full screen. No, I have it for the full screen. That is not quite what I was expecting. Skip, go away. What? Why did that happen? I wonder if that's killed the cameras. Only time will tell, because it doesn't die straight away. I've got the camera over here, the secondary camera, which helps with transitioning on these sort of situations. Let me come out of shot there. Let you enjoy every last pixel of that story.
I don't trust you.
You don't have a choice if you want to know what happened. But if it helps, I give you my word I won't try anything. And I never break my word.
She must know her, right? So I guess she never breaks
Thank
a word.
you. Those ropes were tight.
It is how I
Now
like it.
tell me
though.
what you did to Faith.
What?
You're more
She went down like
gullible
a
than
sack
I
of
thought.
spuds.
Let it go!
You're doing great. Just like she did.
No! Please!
And when the pain gets so unbearable that you'd rather die, just remember, to suffer is to thrive in the grove of dead trees. With every
that's true.
cut, you're growing.
Oh, I feel much better.
Now say it with me.
No!
I am blighted. My words are woe. My deeds are rot.
It's going to take a little more coercing to do
But
that.
I am not lost. By hollowed blade, I draw out my affliction. Now I need your other arm. The wrist.
No, she'd been transported to hell, but in doing so, she'd been freed. How strange. Oh yeah, to get that shot, we had to fly a drone.
It's either eternity or nothing, Astrid. What's it going to be?
Eternity sounds rather tempting. There was a close contention here whether to eat or not eat the root. And the chat were pushing for it because it was the non-redemption option. They had to push hard though. But they finally got what they wanted.
No.
By eating the root, she gets to be visited by the collector. I believe that's what that was called.
No. No, this can't happen.
It's already begun, Astrid. The children are ready. We only wait for you.
No. No!
No! No, Mama, no! Stop! You're hurting me! You're hurting me!
Orson! What did you do to him? It was an accident.
She was shaking
Get
the child
away
up.
from him.
Terrible monster.
Wait, no, Britt, please.
What a monster.
Rachel,
Astrid, you're okay.
we have to keep moving.
You gotta work
That
together.
thing is-
It's been following me too.
For the moment, at least.
She looks like Aurora.
So you're the one my sister has spoken of. How is little Orson?
She and her sister are behind all of this.
So maybe you're not as stupid as I thought.
We can't let her go.
I'm afraid we're in this labyrinth together. Until you do what must be done.
The Heralds want to bring on the Withering. That's why they're doing all of this.
I still don't understand.
They took our kids to make us suffer.
To bring about his coming. Hello, sister.
The mighty
My dear
Metronite.
Who's coming,
Metreon.
Aurora?
The one who will redeem us. The one who will take up all our anguish and free us from it. The great empath. We will not be deprived of him any longer. I must open myself to eternity. Please, Astrid, help me get there.
Help
I'm
you?
helping you get
Why
there.
would I ever help you?
Because we'll both get what we want.
Is that your god?
No, no. Another emissary, a precursor to our true savior. Consider him a tool.
If a god shows up, you're gonna need to shoot it with a
We're tired
rifle
of
a
all
few
your
times.
cryptic bullshit. Just tell us what you want.
My body stands before the altar, and that creature is the knife. I just need some help falling onto it. So, give me a push. Just a push.
You want me to...
I am a willing lamb, but it will be all the more potent if you lead me to slaughter. So do it.
Don't listen to her, Astrid.
Damn,
It's
they
what she
want
wants us
them
to do.
they want to be killed, so
She'll do it because she wants me dead.
what an
As
unsatisfying
revenge for what I
situation
did
to be
you,
in.
To your family.
If you want to die, die. But I'm not like you. I would never...
Stop running away from what you really want. There's no saving me. There's no saving anyone. Become Astrid. Become who you're supposed to be.
Astrid, she's lying to you.
Lies. That's how today's story block has ended. Terrible, terrible lies. But we got the cameo, joined by Rio-san. It's Brit again today, because we had Brit not too long ago, but yeah, there are only 4 characters. Alright, off you go. Endure, why don't you? He got a shock, but then confidently strutted into the next room. Oh, didn't hold. Stay away. Stay away. I'm next to a bright window, so it's kind of hard to see those arrows. Wow. Tap was just on this seam here. You know the drill. Find a weapon, kill the monster. Oh, I didn't see those. Oh, they weren't there. One of the other. I was holding them, but my finger kind of rocked. The practicalities of a phone screen present problems that you just don't get on a PC screen. But then again, there are the benefits too, by having like 2 thumbs put into action at once. Upshots and downsides. Next room. Gotta dig deep. Dig deep, tap fast. They were going on about the in the pre-show that they've tweaked these a bit, so hopefully the click events are doable now. They're kind of just legitimately not quite getting it there. Look, got the full stank on it. Hopefully I'm better from all this cold I've had all week. It's kind of come and gone the last few days. Ah, a cameo. You can see her hair popping in there. She's about to perish. A nice moustache. But I'm afraid even a moustache like that can't protect you from the fires. Let's click to get away from the burninator. Some clicks going into the red one though. Anti-clicks. Too many redemption whales though, including myself, to harm Brit here. Colossal monster. I thought that monster was destroyed anyway. We saw it, we saw Carl gun it down. Exploded its gas tanks. Brit successfully endured. Rectangular prism head. Boss should have gotten Carl. Lame. The whole system is lame. I hope you or all you influencer types are happy. Silent Hill clearly isn't for you. What's he actually complaining about? There's a lot to complain about, but what specifically? Yippee, another cool interview. Rachel was supposed to get her revenge. I guess a choice didn't go through their way or something. Okay, Saki, go play a game where you lose on purpose then. Keep her alive. Resumptionists suck. Look at this bitter battle. People miss everything new. We could have had Eric go ape. Eric would have gone to town. Would have absolutely gone to town there.
Welcome to the Silent Hill
Look at that
Ascension
mohawk,
post show.
rocking
This
the
is
hawk.
still Layla, but look at this stranger I got over here. Oh my goodness, and it's not Eduardo, I'll tell you that much. Don, would you care to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Don. I'm the Genevid Studio Cinematics Director, and I am here to offer myself as satyr for the Cult of Merge.
Yes, thank you so much.
Excellent.
We understand this is a grave responsibility for you, but we really appreciate you taking on the task. Don,
Finally,
would you care to
the
tell
guest.
us a little bit about your background and your
stop
role
it.
as cinematics,
Even
studio cinematics director here at
need
Genvid?
Yeah, okay, so I kind of oversee all the cinematics that all of the Genvid products actually have. We've done live action and game stuff. I come from a live action film background myself. So I'm like the last bastion of like edit, and I'm also like the first idea guy. So I'm kind of the guy who just like shoots out a bunch of crazy ideas, and then a bunch of people try to like make them all happen to varying degrees of success. The ones that don't succeed are mostly because they're stupid ideas in the first place on my part.
And of course, they welcome
yes, I'm
him
one
to
of the
their
people
cult.
tasked with,
Cool.
unfortunately, a lot of the times telling Don no.
Yeah, no, we don't need 30 cameras, no helicopters. It's fine. Just put the camera on the guy.
I said
Everything's
okay on the
cool.
helicopter, but I said it was going to cost
You did. That's true.
You're a studio cinematics director here at Genvid. We've also spoken to Augustine previously. How do
Yes.
you two complement each other on Ascension?
Yeah, well, he's the show cinematics director, right?
The
So
helicopter.
what I do is I break down the script with him, and we kind of come up with what the show is going to look like, what each episode, what each scene is going to like look like and feel like, and then we kind of like I hit, like I said, all the crazy stuff, and he says yes, I'll do as much as humanly possible to make all of that make sense, and then he deletes half of it and does something way cooler with his personal artistic bent, and then I verify it and say, oh my God, that was great. You lost the explosions, but you put a giant monster in it, and that's great. So that's kind of how it goes. We work very closely together on every single scene that you see. So if there's a camera in it, we've touched it. We basically are partners on this particular show. Anything that's like core narrative related, through line carrying.
It'd be amazing to have a vehicle
He's
show up in the
primarily
show.
responsible for, and anything that's like overarching vision. How the show flows from a visual perspective, how our camera language speaks, and that kind of stuff. That mostly starts with me, and then we agree on it and go from there.
Yes, I can definitely vouch for that process. Cheese Rainbow in chat says, resist the merge with the helicopter, it won't end well. And to that I say, skill issue.
What is it with me and that one pig?
Get good.
Yeah. Turn to the left slightly.
Turn to the left slightly, that's all it takes. But speaking of, as I'm paying attention to the chat here, Don will love to answer questions from chat.
Yes.
So
The dog
guys, if
answer.
you have stuff, send it to us so that our team can flag it for me, and I can then ask Don. I will
cue
be
them
your
up.
voice tonight. Use me wisely. Great. So you and Augustine work a lot together on Ascension, as we just covered. Both of you also have another thing in common, which is that you are fans of horror as a genre. So what got you into it?
Well, actually, I'd like to speak on my relationship with Augustine first. We actually met outside of this project. We came together because we knew each other, and then we both entered this project at the same time, the Silent Hill project. Because of our love of horror, we actually came together working on a separate project on a
Slash
epic
missed
thing,
it. You already did.
epic for horror stuff.
Unless you
Very
wanted to
cool
be
stuff.
satire, but without
I am
joining.
a massive horror fan. I can tell you which frame exactly Hellraiser went bad. I know way too much about horror films. I think that you can probably see some of that in the show, but mostly we're trying to create
with
a
this
whole,
guy who
new
knows
horror
exactly when
aesthetic for
Hellraiser
Silent
went bad.
From our
You know that
film
this
perspective.
show's gonna
Yeah,
be
Augustine and I
good.
came together basically on horror. If we I do such, it's the Zoom era, right? So I do like some meetings from my home office or my room, and behind me is just like DVDs. And the first time we met, we actually spent time because behind him is a bunch of DVDs, and we're like, oh my god, look, there's this DVD and that DVD, and you like Tetsuo the Iron Man as well, and like all the crazy stuff. So yeah, big horror background. I think my
It was
first
frame
feature film was a horror film.
465.
Starred Jeffrey
See,
Combs,
Valkyria there asking what
the
frame it
animator.
was.
I don't know if you guys know what that is, but
Terrible frame.
it's a thing.
There
know
was
what
no
that
hell
is.
being raised.
Ugh, look at me, cultured. Then we have a couple
Let's
of
head
people.
back to the
First of all,
home.
I would like to address
It's time
Slosh. Don
to
already
go to
volunteered
work.
as Satyr. Of course, he's joining the Cult of the Merge.
Let's review
But also, we got a
the
couple of people asking.
questions currently here. What will Astrid decide for Aurora's ultimate fate? Keep her alive, watch her die, push her to death. That's watch her die. What will Britt tell Orson about Eva's shooting? Tell him the truth. Tell him he's too young to know. Tell him Eva was a victim. Sure, she was a victim, just like you. I've involved myself with those, which means I've... Okay. Code Breaker. Look at this, that's one hell of a Tumblr. Da Vinci Code, eat your heart out. You know, all the same jokes I make every single time. Put those there, move on to the next thing. Not many symbols in this one, so one can hold out some hope. Put that hourglass there, and then this one, we'll try the pay. There we go, we cracked the Tumblr. Car repair time. Yeah, the adverts, the show is really, the recording is really struggling as of late. I had to restart again. Oh, this is, speaking of struggling as of late, this is gonna break the mind. I'm not quite sure if the sound effects are coming through because they die when I don't restart all the levels of the recording. You know, Silent Hill, so you expect something to die.
Those adverts are coming in fast. The streaming ain't gonna last. Each recommendation.
Wasn't it a terrific turn of events that guy, he joined the Merge. No one thought that he was going to join the Cult of the Merge, but he did, and wow. Alright, I've got to do that now. Don't know, there's like loads of these freeze. Snip, snip, snip. Uh-oh. SpaghettiOs. Gotta work furiously and try and keep ahead of the current situation. I don't think I have enough end caps to cap it all off. Actually, maybe I do. That it? Have I got everything? Check over here. This component. Yeah, that looks good. I reckon this car will run. Done. Start. Let's play The Day of Night. wonder if it like reacts to my recording and it's broken it all. A nice short one by the looks of things. It's lucky thus far that nothing to do with the show or the endurance scene caused the cat recording to fail, because that would be really annoying. These mini games, at least, you can kind of control as they come, so you can kind of stop recording and start again, so to speak. Tried moving things around so I'm a bit closer to the mic, but I'm tapping the mic with my phone, which isn't ideal, not gonna lie. Beautiful song there. Excellent stuff. That's the mini games done.
Is capable of doing, right?
And our review is still underway here.
That dictates what
Let's
that
put the
specific thing is
review
going to be capable of doing and how it's going to be able to
everyone's
do it.
doing on
A lot
their
of really
hope. So that is under mindfulness and the little eye. Pretty positive for Brit. Pretty much down the middle for Rachel. Astrid just hanging in positive. Eric just in negative. If he swings back into positive, then I can switch the music back to his positive version of his music. Can't be bothered doing it for everyone else. That's way too much work.
Oh,
And I'll click on that.
it's like L1 scenes. That's like our internal pipeline.
Hang around with this
Can you guide
interview
us
for a
through,
little
like,
bit.
generally speaking, the steps of composing like a compelling scene?
Unreal used a lot
Yeah.
of great
Okay.
stuff.
So
Yeah.
what we'll do is we'll obviously we'll reach
Unreal
the
is
scene, we'll get
actually
from narrative.
unreal.
We'll break it down. We'll go step by step, and we'll. So okay, a show is comprised of scenes. A show is technically comprised of acts. Acts are comprised of scene sequences. Scenes are comprised. Scene sequences are comprised of scenes. Scenes are comprised of shot sequences. Shot sequences are comprised of shots. Shots are comprised of composition. So we kind of break it all the way down that ladder to composition, and we come up with like what's our first shot? What's our last shot? In a tiny little, we are daily.
That's a level 10 scene.
Videos we want to have. We want to start with like.
This scene I'm
What's
in
the
right
opening
now is
shot,
actually a
right?
level
And we
10
want to end
scene.
on either a cliffhanger or something that leaves you wanting more, or something that like, oh wow, what an impact shot. So we tend to fall to our first and last shots, and then we work through the scene and figure out like what the actual physical blocking would be just in people. We sketch, we draw a little like diagram. We have the diagrams already like worked out, but I sketch on them on Photoshop, whatever. We work out like where the people are going to walk around, how they're going to sit, how they're going to do just the banal like moving around a scene stuff. And once we lock that out, we
The composition is not bad.
Cinematic
It looks
artist,
just like
and we say,
the Sound Hill
we create what we call a shot list,
one
which is like
cutscenes,
I want to
so
start
that's
on a line,
accurate.
2 shot, and then
The characters
when she
look
leans forward,
pretty
punched into
much.
her face, and then like when she looks to her left, go over her shoulder and show what she's looking at, and that kind of thing. I mean, there's a whole cinematic language that we kind of like follow for that, with like priority circles and frame occupancies and like weight
Yes,
priorities
punch
and
her
stuff. We
face
kind of
out.
work all that out. It's like a structure, like a plot. We hand that to an artist who goes in and says, "Yeah, that's,
then she
that's
speaks
fine."
whale.
But like the camera would hit the wall if we did that.
Motion
So we're going to do
capture?
something very
Maybe
similar
not.
to that, and then they get it back to us in what's called a blocking pass. We call those L1. So the animations are like just dropped in. We have a mocap team. We've done a whole bunch of mocap. We have some of it that we canned. We did a bunch at the top of the show, to general stuff like scratching the head and looking around, like basically around stuff. And some of it we get bespoke. We lay all that together in sort of we just throw it in. So it's all kind of choppy and weird. And it's kind of like watching something really low fidelity. It's like watching a live animatic. And we pick out what we want, how it works or didn't work. And we send it back. They recomposite the whole thing. We do a lighting pass. We do an effects pass, and then we do we get to level 3, where we do a level 3 visual pass, where
Climb
that's where
up
we have
those levels.
lights and atmosphere and post-process. We basically like finish the piece, and then we send it to sound, and then we do a review of that sound thing, and then we send it off. We have
Sound,
the producers
rank it
look
up
at it
a
and
level.
smile, and they never have any problems ever. The producers, they always love it. There's never notes. And then
No,
we send it
I
off.
love everything, and I have no issues ever. So that all was great, and actually a great segue. For folks who might be listening and can't keep up with the lingo, right? I'm not going to go through like and do a dictionary list of everything Don just said, but what I will say is a lot of times when you talk to creative professionals, right, like us, it's like you start speaking a little bit of a different language. And earlier we had a really great question from
You're speaking the language of the movie maker.
How would you
What
would be one piece of advice for getting started with live action stuff? And I'll let Don give his like more technical answer. But for me, from my perspective, one of the best things you can do to get started with any kind of filmmaking or any kind of visual craft is to start observing, right? So Don just gave like an incredible like film school 101 crash course, listening to people like that, but also something I used to love to do when I was teaching.
With that crash course, I'd be able to make my own movie magic
playing
now.
the trailer game when you go through a movie trailer that you really like and you start calling out shot compositions or like where leading lines are. That's exactly what it sounds like, or the lighting or things like that. So you could start with observing, but once you've mastered observing, Don, somebody wants to get into filmmaking, what is your one piece of advice?
Well, it's really easy. It's not easy. It's the worst.
It's easy.
If you want to be a film
Glad it's
director,
easy.
not just like in film, live action film, it's got to be like your life because it's mostly pitching and mostly like coming with ideas and stuff. But to actually get the craft, to figure out the craft, you all have one of these, right? What did they say for was it Diablo? You all have cell phones, right?
What is that?
You all have one of these. This has like 3 cameras on it. Oh my God, it's 3. Yeah, I can tell you, my first feature film was filmed on a camera that was lower fidelity than this camera right here, because it was like a decade ago. It was like 12 years ago. So you have one. You have a camera already. You can make something with. So go make something. Do something. See if it makes sense. See how it feels. Show your friends. Show your parents. Or whatever. If you want to upgrade, there's one of these little boys.
Share it with your friends, family.
Whoop, whoop, whoop. This little guy's on a gimbal. You get him for like a couple $100. Just run around town doing a bunch of crazy stuff. I actually have a cinema camera way over there. You can't see, but those are like, $30,000. Stay away from those till you make a movie, till you get somebody else to buy it for you. But I just start doing stuff, right? Layla's totally correct. You have to watch
$30,000.
Watch everything. Watch bad movies. Don't walk out of anything. Don't turn anything off. If you hate it, that's better for you. Find out what you hate about it and don't do that. Spend your time figuring out the language of cinema. Read a book or 2, but I'm not going to be the those who can't do teach guy. But
I'm just fascinated to see how long this lecture goes on for.
Making movies, they wouldn't be making books. So go look at the movies
Money making.
and figure out the cinematic language. Then make your own path. Go make a movie. There are thousands of film festivals every year. They'll take movies shot on iPhone. Go do it. Make sure you have audio. You can get a Rode. I'm using a Rode wireless mic right now.
Did you shoot your movie on iPhone?
That's easy.
No,
today it's easy.
Just have a Samsung.
When I first started making movies,
sorry,
you had to get a
rejected
guy, and you had to have a vest, and they had to have all the stuff. Right now is the best time to go make a thing. So I think Robert Rodriguez said to be a filmmaker, just say you're a filmmaker. I think that's a privileged answer from somebody who was struck by lightning and got free ticket into Hollywood. But it's a good start.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring us back full circle to something we were talking about earlier, which is to say that the thing you're learning when you're learning any kind of craft, filmmaking, audio design, whatever you want to do, the core thing you should be focusing on is learning how to solve the problems you're trying to solve to tell the story that you're going to tell. Your tools can come later. You can develop preferences for tools whenever you want. Yeah. Like Don said, there's so much available on the market right now, and you could
need a Red camera. You don't need Alexa. You don't need any of that. The best filmmakers on earth can make something on an iPhone.
Absolutely. As we're kind of coming to the end of our time together in this context, we have so much more time together at our actual jobs. I have a preference question for you, which is to say, what has been your favorite scene so far, either to make or to observe, or both?
Yeah, I'm answer both.
It was the one where the 2 monsters in the endurance scene.
I know there have been some
astounding
mixed
stuff.
Social emotions, but the endurance scene were a blast to make, man. It was just hey, here's a playground,
the endurance
throw monsters in it, make somebody jump through 3 hoops and dive through a thing and grab a thing and run around and then expect that a person's gonna interact with it. That was a really fun and creative endeavor. I think that if you have a minute, because you guys are here, you play, you check it out, you watch the show. Take some time and just look at the shots on the next endurance sequence you guys play. Just look at.
There's no time. There's too many quick time events.
Really interesting ways to get you stuck next to a monster and then run away from a monster. Whether or not the tapping is your favorite thing or whatever, look at the art of it. So I think that was really fun to make. I think my favorite scene to watch so far, outside of
events.
The merge, the morgy as we call it, right? The merging ceremony. Outside of that, I think it was we just released it. The scene where Rachel takes Barbara, ties her to a chair, and beats the hell out of her. The music is just hitting perfectly. We finally get to see Rachel like express herself. She's not been like victim, like she's been pretty pushy, but she's never really been able to like get past like being served by something. She's ripped her eye out. She's going all bonkers. Everything's crazy. And finally, like, oh, you're the bad guy. Okay, I'll tie you to a chair, punch you in the face. I think it's just like it comes kind of out of nowhere. It feels really like
I really like her now.
It feels like I was telling
there's nothing to ingratiate
Korean
someone
revenge
more
movies,
than a
right?
solid
Like Old Boy or something.
Yeah, we're talking about Old Boy today.
Rachel with the hammer, just like going to town. I just think it's a really awesome expression. The show's violent already, so I'm not like, oh my god, violence.
Can they change Rachel's outfit?
It's really just seeing that character kind of take her first step to like penetrate the wall that's been holding her back and really like exert herself. She cares about her. She cares about Eric. She cares about her kid. And this lady is effectively
any of that means,
the architect of everything. Who knows where it's going? I don't. But yeah, I think that it's really fun to see that kind of like punch, and I want to be the future fairy and let you know that like there's more stuff like that to come. It's going to be intense and crazy.
More to come. But how much more?
We love exploding
tell me
minds.
precisely how much more.
As we wind down, any final messages for the audience?
I hope you guys are enjoying the show. There's a lot of people here. We're working really hard to give you something that you like. We do pay attention to what you're saying. We're getting better as we go.
They're paying all the attention
that's totally
on
normal.
account
Go
of
watch
the
the second
questions
episode of Star
below.
Trek: The Next Generation if you want to throw up in your own hat. Like this is just like TV stuff, but we have a direct access to you guys, and that's not normal. That's new, and I think that's really cool. We're making something with you, not just for you. So enjoy what we're doing if you can, and
but the people don't know what they want. They'll make crap and love it. Remember when Homer Simpson made Carl that was a bubble?
Kind of the
that was made by the
thing
people.
About this, that's the point.
Yeah.
Production. I don't know if we have a final slide with some socials to revisit as we kind of head out. But I will give you a second whether or not that's happening. But hey, thank you, Don, so much for joining me here on the hosted show. It's good to have another person.
Thank you very much.
Inside the production
I even got fan.
I loved this
fan
time.
myself
Feel
as
like
I wait for the show to
and on Monday
end.
we'll bond some more, solving more.
Oh yeah.
Can't quite open it fully in one hand. It's not like
cool
a switch knife.
The audience.
Yeah, thank you all so much for joining us tonight, and have a foggy night.
Open it with my mouth. No. Can't be done one-handed. I'm not that cool.
Are we still on?
They are still on. The show is still raging on.
Oh, great. We'll sit here and smile.
I just like open it. There we go.
Okay, well, production is busy, so I'll just review the run of show with you guys.
Production are too busy to end the show.
If you guys want to come back, every weekday at 6 p.m., you're going to see Silent Hill Ascension. If you want to revisit us for the pre and post shows, that is 5:40 p.m. And then after the Endure, you can come back for the post show. Usually they end, but today we're having some technical difficulties, which means you get to stare at mine and Dawn's face for a little while.
Technical difficulties preventing the show from ending.
Yeah,
that's a new
audience.
one. No. You won't answer that question. You'll end the show like a good boy. You cut them off. You have to see whether they're going to pop back on randomly now. Next time, I'll have this like fully unfurled somewhere. But until then, join us next time for more Ascension. GG.